Michelle here, and welcome back to the Vlog channel. I'm basically here to tell you how to start your YouTube channel. Yep, let's get started. The first thing that you want to do is figure out what you want to say. It would be really bad if you got in front of the camera and you did something like this.
This is kind of awkward. I really don't know what to say. But maybe I can call my phone for this first video.
Instead of doing that and making it awkward for you and the viewer, you might want to do something like this. Hey guys, it's Michelle here and welcome to my channel. Today's video, I'm going to show you how I stay organized in my daily life so that I can be productive and efficient. And to get to something like this, what you need to figure out is whether you want to inform, persuade, entertain, or educate. You need to really figure out what you want to do. Use those keywords to really center yourself on what you want to say on your channel so the viewer understands kind of what your scope of the channel is and also allows you to create content within that scope. Now that you know what you want to say, you're going to want to do research. So you're going to want to research your topic, and this is because you really want to know what the viewer knows and what their daily lives are. Find out the pleasure and their pains in their daily life. What I like to do is I like to create stories for my viewers. I literally will pick a little story in my head, a little narrative of the possibilities that could go wrong and the possibilities that could go right so that I better connect with them and may know what they want to watch next. I believe because you're going to build little stories and narratives where you connect more with the viewer instead of just creating these videos and having a big question mark on who's seeing this and what other solutions are there. Maybe the topic that you're making, there's 100 million versions of it, so if you created a different topic that isn't a solution out there yet, it will be the one that gets picked. So do your research now so that you're already super competitive in the field. Now that you've figured out what you want to say and you've done some research, maybe you've altered what you wanted to say before, you're going to want to pick a name. When picking a name, it should stick to you and it should be something that you could say out loud and it just sounds super beautiful. Pick something easy that could be related to your topic and just flow out and can give someone an image of what that name represents. Now we're going to get into something a little bit more fun than the other things, and it's going to be to find your look. So it's going to be the color and the font of your page. When I began my page, I stuck to black and white and grays because I wanted it to look more professional. I have then transitioned to something more bright and colorful because I want something else to be represented in my channel. So you have to think about what colors you want to use. I recommend going on Pinterest and looking up color tones and color patterns that work well. See what colors are eye-catching already for people psychologically and use it for yourself to make them unique. I would also recommend to go to other pages and other websites that you really like and see how colors are influencing your liking of their content. When you find a page that you like, it might be very tempting to copy them, but don't copy them. You want to stay unique because that's the whole point of YouTube. We like to see people that are different and that are answering our questions differently than others. We don't really want the same thing happening over and over again. So I just recommend that you just get your inspiration but do not copy. Just change it with your twist of your personality so that it is your own and people can identify you with it. The next thing I want to talk about is the tools. This will include camera and editing software. For your camera, it will most likely be that you don't have an expensive camera or you might not have the funds to even get the camera. For this, I recommend that you use your phone or that you try and get a cheap camera out there. I definitely would steer more towards like getting a phone because for instance an iPhone, I don't know about Androids, they have like editing software that is free that you can use. So use your phone or get a camera. I started off with the Canon DSLR and I raised my own money to get my Canon DSLR, and I don't really recommend getting a Canon DSLR. I would instead, if you have the money, recommend getting a Canon G7X or a Sony. I know they have another Sony mirrorless camera that is really good, that is comparable to the G7X. Regardless, I'm going to link everything that I have used down below and that I prefer. Just get yourself a cheap camera for now, and what really is going to matter is not the kind of camera that you use, but kind of the space that you are using, because no one wants to see the dirty room. They want to focus on you and they want to focus on your message. So make sure that that is taken care of. The camera and the editing comes after. Yeah, so that's it for the cameras. For the editing software, I recommend using the iMovie if you have access to it. I don't know what the equivalence is to that for like an Android phone, but if you have an iPhone, I know you can get the iMovie app and you can just edit in there. And if you're going to be using iMovie, I recommend to use Keynote. So if you type in how to use Keynote for iMovie, like transitions or for word effects, it's going to be much cheaper than getting Final Cut Pro or Adobe Premiere Pro. I've used both of them. Adobe Premiere Pro is one, expensive and very difficult to use. It's not realistic, so don't get it. Final Cut Pro is a lot easier and friendlier to use, but I do feel like the same effects can be achieved with iMovie and you're not paying so much money for it. That is what I recommend for the tools if you're going to be starting your YouTube channel. What does the content need to be when starting out YouTube? I can't really tell you exactly what to post because you all have different niches, different audiences, but I'll give you a little bit of a guideline so that when you're making your content, you kind of can stick within these boundaries. A list because it's kind of long and I can't remember on top of my head. So your content should be specific. It should be clean, meaning it just focuses on one topic. It should be short. In the beginning, it should be short because you want to give people an insight to what you're making. Personally, and yeah, I could be wrong, you want to make your content happy, at least to start off with. I like watching happy videos. And interactive. Make it fun for the viewer to watch you. Do the whole thing that I did, like subscribe if you want to be part of the community, because that's interactive. You don't want to say
subscribe so that you can watch me more.
Like, that's not fun. So make it interactive where you're going to be replying back to them. Give them some value. That's kind of the guideline that I have for you when you're creating your content. Make sure you're making it about the viewer and not about you, because at the end of the day, we want to go back to our mission, which is to educate, inform, entertain, or persuade, which at the end of the day always has to go back to the viewer. So just make sure that you're doing that so that your channel is already standing out from the many out there. The next thing we're going to talk about is sharing your video. Sharing your video is most likely going to have to do with networking and connecting with the other YouTube community members. Some places you can do this is through Instagram, Facebook groups, and your family and friends already. So what I remember doing in the beginning is just sending the link to my friends or mostly posting it on Instagram. And even though that was okay, I found the most kind of response through like Facebook groups, as well as through connecting with other influencers who had a YouTube through Instagram. And what you want to do is make sure that they're within your niche, or at least are also on the same page of starting out their YouTube channel, and also want you to give them feedback on what they're doing. So what that means is you also have to give good feedback to them. Make it authentic, make it useful, because no one wants to see just comments that say, great video. Don't do that. Say, great video, I really enjoyed how you made this pasta. When I use pasta, I usually use this. Have you tried that? I really liked your content. That's a really great authentic comment, right? So that will require you to watch the whole video. And the other thing that you have to make sure that you do is keep interacting with their content. Don't just do it once, do it multiple times so that they know that you're being authentic. Alright guys, as you can see, starting a YouTube channel is a lot of work. From beginning to end just takes time, but once you do it, you'll see results, you'll create a community, and you'll feel really proud of yourself. You're literally having an impact on the world. And that's it. If you guys want, connect with me down below on your channel and what you have started so far. If you already have a channel name and all of that, we'll leave it down below. I'll check it out and let's engage and talk to each other. And also connect with me on Instagram, where you guys can message me more questions. It's called the Vlog. I'll leave it down below. All links will be down below. And nonetheless, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye! which I have used both. Is that how you say the names? I might be messing that up. Just make sure you have nice lighting. I bought these really nice lights. You don't really need that, you guys. Like, go for natural lighting. As you can see, I don't put my dirty clothes on the bed. They're in the corner in the closet. I'm just kidding. Actually, I'm not kidding. Yeah, you want to create a clean space. The other kind of comment that you want to steer away from is, I subbed, sub back. Don't do that. X. Don't do that. Yeah, that's my second tip. Okay? Okay. Let's do the next one.